As we move into this section, I want you to think about a time when if you had some little piece of information at some moment in time, it would have saved you weeks, months, maybe even years. So what if you had this little piece of information that could have changed something that maybe would have saved you so much time? If you can relate to an experience like this, I think you're really going to like this section, because in this section, you're going to learn about personas, segments, and customer knowledge in the modern growth hacker approach, using things like digital tools mixed with human-centric tools like user interviewing and things like that. So before we dive in, there are some concepts that I want to give to you to build your intuition that you're going to need going forward. The first one is a buyer persona. Sometimes it's just called a persona. And this is a semi-fictional representation of a type of a customer based on your market research. Okay, next let's talk about a segment. So a segment are customers who are likely to respond similarly to marketing strategies and who share traits such as similar interests, needs, or location. So one thing that I want to introduce to you about segments is that segmenting is all about what's relevant to your business. For example, for one business, it might make sense to segment their customers based on when they started being a customer. For another business, it might make sense to segment their customers on something else, like who's their insurance provider, right? So another thing that will build your intuition to connect what we learned earlier, which was funnel marketing with segments, is that let's say that you find a part in your funnel that's not converting well. The power of growth hacking is the ability to zoom in on that little tiny conversion leakage point and segment users there, and then do experiments to improve the conversion rates of certain segments. That's why you should be thinking a lot about segments with funnels. Now here's another concept that I want to introduce to you that you're going to need. Buying center. So a buying center is the group of people and factors that determine whether or not a purchase is made. So think about the group of people who determine a purchase decision as one buying center, okay? Now, finally, an open-ended question. This is a deliberately non-specific question designed to see how someone thinks and prefers to direct a conversation. You're going to need that when you get into the customer interviewing or user interviewing module. So coming up, we're going to build your intuition around personas, segments, and customer interviewing. And Maya's going to interview Thomas Paris, a really well-known growth hacker, who's going to talk a little bit about landing pages and segments. You're going to see an excerpt of that interview. You can see the full one. If you look in the study guide, you'll see a link to the full unedited version of the interview with Thomas Paris. He's going to talk a little bit about landing pages, which you're going to learn a little bit more about later. But for now, I want you to be thinking about who are the different segments of your users. What messages, what approaches would they maybe require because of their different grouping based on whatever segment is relevant to your business. Be thinking about that as you go forward through these modules.